guess here goes nothing. I don't know. I'm not used to doing this all myself, so pardon me. All right, you ready?
Now, Behind the Law with Justin Clark and Allie Mack on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Well, it looks like I at least got everything rolling here, Allie Mack. That's pretty good because I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this or not. Brianna is out, ladies. Hello. Good evening to you. Thanks for spending your evenings here with us. It's Justin Clark. Behind the Law, Allie Mack is here to my left. But the beautiful Brianna is out today, which means, well, just more responsibility for me. The last thing in the world I want, Allie Mack, right now in my life is more responsibility.
Definitely.
So now I have to not only run the board here, hit all these little buttons. Now I've got to do this whole social media thing as well. I don't know what I'm doing.
And now
clearly.
we have a timer, too, on this side.
And now I got the timer. The one time I remember to start the timer, actually, you have a backup
you did?
timer.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. My goodness, Brianna. I mean, I don't know how to do all this stuff. It's too much for one man.
It
and
is.
then I have to actually talk as well.
I
which is a
know.
little
You have
crazy.
to be creative at that. So, but you can do it.
Haven't
you can
seen
do
you
it.
in a few days. How you doing? Everything all right or what?
I'm doing good. My
Anything-
mom was very sick. I was in Tampa for quite a bit, so she was in the hospital. So she's home now.
Good.
But we're just waiting on some results with her biopsies and stuff. So she's still sick, but every day she's is progressing little by little. So that's where I've been.
Well, it's good to have you back in the studio. Brianna
Yeah.
is not here. I think she might be dealing with medical stuff in her family as well. So I hope everyone gets better soon. We have a very special guest today. Alyssa Hogan will be joining us, talking all things business strategy. So you're going to want to stick around, especially if you're a small business owner. We're going to have a lot of tips for you and to how to make more money. We'll also play Stump the Clarky. I don't know who's going to read the questions. I guess Allie Mack's going to be reading the questions, even though you're on a winning streak in Stump the Clarky. At least your streak is...
Have you been winning, though?
I've been like tying, basically. We have to come up with a tiebreaker, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll
I think
see.
that's better.
Well, thank you for spending your weeknights here with us. You can also watch the TV show at Facebook, at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and any social media platform. Also, don't forget to watch the TV show. It's Behind the Law on TV this Sunday and every Sunday, 10 a.m. on TV 27. I know you're not prepared, but it's time for
If it's on the internet, she's talking about it. It's what's going on with Allie Mack.
What's going on?
I didn't think you were going to call me
know.
out. I was just going to wing it.
Well, I tell you what's really bothering me right now. Did you see this story? And maybe because I have young daughters. I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. And I was recently at Arnold Palmer Hospital, actually, with my 1-year-old Mila. So this valet stand right in front of Arnold Palmer. I just remember we were there like it was yesterday. Did you hear what happened?
No.
Some psychopathic lady, 28-year-old woman, drove to the valet stand at Arnold Palmer Hospital yesterday with her 11-year-old daughter
heard
with
that.
stab wounds. I mean,
And
come
it was
on.
her. Wasn't it her that did it or something? And she
Yeah.
had a knife.
And
or...
then she pulls a knife on the staff at Arnold Palmer as well. I mean, this is just crazy. So the story comes out today
Horrible.
that she stabbed her 11-year-old multiple times.
And she passed away, didn't
and
she?
to her death because she wanted to prevent her 15 stab wounds. Prevent her
God.
daughter from having sex, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's horrible for one, but that's wow.
I mean, are you kidding me?
That's incredible. There's been
It's
a
your
lot
own
of
daughter,
really,
lady.
Yeah, there's been a lot of really sad stories on the news. I know that. I know there's been a lot of political stories in the news as well. But one of the things I want to focus on, as far as like we're having a big event, and it's at the end of the month, March 28th. And we're featuring a lot of your different businesses as well. So an Ace Cafe, we're going to be there on the 28th. If you want to get to know a little bit more about the businesses, please feel free to go over there. I think it'll be very good for different type of businesses, whether you need insurance, where you need a realtor, a title company, an attorney. We have a couple other businesses, so definitely check us out over in Eventbrite. Please register for your ticket, and we'll see you there. So,
If you listen to the show, consider this your official invite to the
Oh, yes.
first annual Under One Roof Expo.
Under One
Is that
Roof
what it's called?
Expo.
So we'll be out there. We'll be doing the
Definitely.
show from there. It's free invite. Free to get in. And this is your official invite. So please register however Allie Mack tells you to. I don't really know. How do you register?
Eventbrite, and make sure you bring plenty of business cards and be ready to network with some really good business professionals. One thing that comes to mind, my mom has been very sick, and I know that a lot of people have been going to the hospital for pneumonia and all this. So make sure you take precaution. Make sure you wash your hands. Make sure if you have to get a flu shot, get a flu shot. But while we were in the hospital, there was probably five other people with pneumonia. Also, so it's I don't know if it's just something that's going around. It's a really, really bad flu season, and I know they always say it, but I had a friend's dad that went in the hospital for the same type of thing my mom went, and he was, he was so bad. His dad passed away. Ugh. So we were dealing with that and stuff. But I mean, during the flu season, you never know, whether you're elderly or young and stuff like that. So be prepared. Go to the doctor, even if you don't think it's something big. But I mean, they found spots in my mom's lungs, and it's just a nightmare.
How many times a day do you think you wash your hands? Like, no BS.
I have hand sanitizer, and sometimes I'm obsessed to the point where my hands get so dry it hurts. Yeah. So I can't tell you how many times a day I wash my hands, but I'm always sanitizing my hands. So just make sure. But, people cough, and you're opening up doorknobs and things like that. You're using people's pens. So just be cognizant of that and just be very careful. It's touched my family just way too close to, we thought we were going to lose my mom. So just make sure you take care of yourself. And if you're sick, stay home. If you're sick, don't cough, on people. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to definitely mention.
March Madness is here for all of you NCAA basketball fans. The selection show will be this Sunday. And then, of course, the NCAA tournament starts that following Thursday and Friday. Two of the best days a year for basketball fans. Do you cut out of work that Thursday and Friday, or do you not? Let us know at Behind the Law Radio, because I've been known to sort of, I don't cut out of work very often.
Of course you don't.
No, I really don't. I mean, I'm here all the time.
Do you do a bracket?
Yeah, I'll normally do a couple of brackets. I don't even know if I join any. I don't even, you know what I mean?
They're
what am
fun.
I going to do? Give someone $5 or whatever? I don't care, but I do it for myself. And I always do a bracket. But this is a very rare year for me, because the University of Tennessee has consistently been, pretty bad at basketball throughout our history. But we're actually pretty good this year, ranked number 6, I believe, in the nation. So we're expected to do okay. It looks like we're down to a number 2 seed as it stands now. I think if we win the SEC tournament, we'll be a number 1 seed, but we'll see. So it's good. We're not used to seeing a lot of Tennessee orange out there during the basketball tournament.
Maybe
so it should be
the show should do a bracket.
Okay.
We should do a bracket, and we should get our audience also involved in it. And maybe we should do like maybe a grand prize at the end. Maybe give them more of your money.
I know. I was going to give you more of my water bottles with my face on them. That's my favorite gift to give away.
I know. That's what I got last time.
Big soccer news yesterday. There was a game in Birmingham City, and a fan has been jailed for 14 weeks after running onto the pitch and punching Aston Villa midfielder Jack.
Holy cow.
I mean, the guy that you didn't see the video of this yet? The fan got so pissed off, he runs onto the field
and punches
the guy, punches one of the players.
Wow.
But this only happened on Saturday, and they've already now said he's going to get 14 weeks in jail. I mean, it happens fast over there, I guess.
Over the weekend, too.
Yeah, I mean, here we go through court for the next 2 years before, 14 weeks there. They're like, yeah, just done.
It was their favorite player, apparently, that got punched.
I guess so.
Off with his head.
They didn't waste any time whatsoever. Very special guest today. You're listening to Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Let's bring her in right now. Alyssa Hogan. She is with Hogan Enterprises. Hello, Alyssa. How are you? Thanks for being here.
I am fabulous. Almost didn't make it.
I know. Maybe running a little bit late.
I-4 traffic. Oh, my goodness.
It's been especially bad, it seems to me, here lately, this I-4 traffic. Every morning. I mean, 45 minutes. I live maybe 10 miles from here, and at least 45 to 50 minutes to get here. Where are you coming in from?
I'm coming in from, just basic Orlando. Okay. But I travel back and forth. I take the kids to schools, and I come home, and I get on working. I work from the office. I go out to my clients. I'm working from home, so I'm all over the place.
Business strategist, meaning she helps those of you that are starting a business or you're already in business and you just can't get over that hump. Have you ever wondered what you can do as a business owner? You've just sort of plateaued, your goals that you set January 1st, you're already not going to hit them. What is it like to actually hire a business strategist to bring them in there to help get your business over that hump? Let's answer that question and plenty more right on the other side of this break with Alyssa Hogan, Justin Clark, Allie Mack. It's Behind the Law.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the program Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Thanks for spending your evenings here with us on our favorite sports radio station. Watch the show at Behind the Law Radio. Also, you can watch the TV show this Sunday and every Sunday. It's Behind the Law on TV, TV 27, 10 o'clock a.m. Allie Mack is here. Good to see you again, Allie Mack.
Thank you.
I feel like it's been a week? How long has it been since I've seen you?
It's been a week. Do I look different?
No.
Okay.
More beautiful, of course.
Oh, thank you.
Other than
Do
that,
I look well rested?
Yeah,
well rested, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, you're fine.
If you have any questions, give us a call. 321-282-1055. Joined today by a very special guest. She is the owner of Hogan Enterprises. Alyssa Hogan, how are you?
I am fabulous.
So you say you're a business strategist, business coach. What exactly does that mean?
Well, I think we use business coach. It's kind of overly used. So I said strategist because I specialize in getting straight to the strategies that are effective in your particular business, whether you're a online business or whether you're actual brick and mortar. I work with you one-on-one to grow your business, or to when you're starting out, to have a solid foundation, because that's very important, because you'll end up like throwing money down the black hole. You remember the movie The Money Pit?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, we should have just started from the bottom.
How long should I try this new business, still not making money? Should I give it a year, give it 2 years, 3 years? How long should I really stick with it before I know it's time to throw up the white flag?
Well, a lot of people, from a tax perspective, because I'm also a tax consultant for businesses.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so I look at the numbers. And so when you're constantly spending out more than you're bringing in, and you have not, I won't say a profit, but you have absolutely no revenue, and it's been a year. Some of the brick and mortar is different from an online business, because with a brick and mortar, you don't have a year to figure it out. You are actually, the bills are coming, the rent is due, you have to keep the lights on, you have to buy the inventory. So you need to come in with a plan from day one. And within 6 months, you should have money saved up for 6 months to be able to sustain this business. And by 6 months, you should be up and running. You should be running full speed.
Is there a specific industry that you primarily focus on, or is it just in general anybody that is a business owner?
I like service-based businesses because it's close to me, to my heart.
Yeah.
It's some things that I've done earlier, and as being an entrepreneur, that I've kind of made some mistakes. I've invested money in places that I shouldn't have. And I can look back because I know my numbers. I know what I invested in and say, oops, maybe not so much.
Like what, advertising, or what do you mean? Give me some examples.
And what not to spend my money on.
Shoes. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Shoes.
You lost me.
Making everything pretty, like so focused on logos and websites when you don't even have the general idea of who you're serving,
Right.
how you're going to serve them, and an actual plan. And I know this seems so cliche because I write business plans with the for my company. And the first place, when I sent out questionnaires, they cannot answer anything about their business. Some of them have been in business 2 years, and you can't tell me who your ideal client is. And that's crazy to me, because if you don't know who you're serving or who you're trying to attract, you're going to continue spinning your wheels. And I'm like, what age? Well, I serve them all. You can't serve them all. You serve nobody, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to, I don't care if you have a fitness program for elderly people, then you know where your customers are. You know to show up to the, nursing homes and say, I got a program that would be perfect for them. You know to put pictures of elderly people having fun working out on your advertising. You know to use the language that attracts them. You wouldn't use things like, oh, get nice and fit and get abs, because elderly people don't care about that. Let's talk about health. Let's talk about not breaking a bone and, how you can sustain longer and have enjoy your later years.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know who you're talking about and you're talking the language of young people and you're serving elderly people, you're never going to attract them.
We hear about these business plans all the time. Oh, you need a business plan. You need a business plan. Certainly, I think that you do. But, what really should be included in this business plan? And should it be, 50 pages, 100 pages? Should it be 3 pages? Explain to me what a really good business plan would look like.
Okay. Well, ironically enough, when I was in school getting my MBA, one of my requirements was to write a business plan. And so at the time, I was a partner of a painting company with my ex-husband. And I wrote a 50-page redundant, saying it over and over and over and over again and over again. And I absolutely said, this absolutely makes no sense at all. So I actually can get them down to about 10 to 15 pages of good substance that is focused on the marketing strategies you're going to use, your vision of where you want to be. You might not be in our office. You might be working from home. But what is your vision? Do you plan on getting a
Do you do like a 5-year plan?
A 3-year plan.
3-year.
And that includes your financials projected if you're not in business.
Pro forma.
Yeah. So it lets you know break even. Work with a company that was he was opening a gym, and he said, I want one just like Planet Fitness. So I wrote him a plan just like Planet Fitness. 5,000, nothing special, throw some equipment in there, 5,000 square feet. And then he came back and said something completely different. He didn't break even based on my financials. He didn't break even until 6.5 years.
Wow.
So that lets you know, oops, I might need to go back to the drawing board. Don't just pour over $170,000. That's what his projected things were. He was going to invest $170,000, $100,000 in just equipment that cannot fit in a 5,000 square foot building. So you see how easily you would learn whether this is a good idea. You go back to the drawing board and say, listen, I might have to start a little smaller. I was recommending $50,000, dollars on it. That way you still have some room to wiggle, which would have cut his time in half.
Right.
Right?
It makes perfect sense to me, for sure. Justin Clark, Allie Mack, it's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, talking to Alyssa Hogan, Hogan Enterprises. She's going to help transform your business from a non-successful, at least on the bottom line, to a very successful one on the bottom line. And she even knows how to do your profit and loss statements for you as well. Alyssa, how do we reach out?
How do you reach out? Well, you can go to Alyssa A. Hogan, which is ALYSSA A. Hogan, HOGAN.co.
All right, let me ask you this. Starting a new business, all right? You always hear, you need to make sure you're funded, need to make sure you're well-funded. What should I do? Should I go out and try to get a business loan to start this business, or should I go ask my brothers for a loan? What should I do?
He's starting a plumbing business, by the way.
It normally comes
You're
back
starting
to
a plumbing business.
I don't know why. No, I'm not.
It's always
just
a plumbing
when we
business
talk about
he's
starting
talking
a
about.
business, I'm always like, Alyssa, let's pretend like I'm starting a business. Let's say it's a plumbing business. I don't know why.
So base it off of that.
So let's say I'm starting
Plumbing business.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
Well, there are people that are actually running a plumbing business, and they have not had any funding. They have funded it from their jobs and out their pocket part-time. But if you take that same money that you're bringing in on the side, don't quit your jobs,
I agree.
Don't quit your job.
100%.
Don't
Justin.
quit
Not
your
yet.
jobs because
Not
they're going to
yet.
fund your business,
Yep,
not your
exactly.
family that won't speak to you after you don't pay them when it goes
Right.
down the tank.
Good
Only
job.
way they'll speak to you.
I saw that.
is
I
if
saw
you-
what you did there.
Yeah, is
Caught
if you do
yourself.
well.
Yeah.
You know, you want to still have good family relationships
Yeah.
and good friends, and you'll break up about money.
That's right.
That's true.
I see money kill families all the time. It's really one of the saddest things that I see. So, but I mean, what do you recommend for funding to start a new business? Do I just keep my job? Should I go look for a loan? It sounds like we don't want to borrow money from family. I mean, what is one way to make sure I'm funded well to make this business succeed?
Well, that actually borrowing money is from your family if you're is a better way than actually going in and borrowing because you probably won't get approved. Just being honest. And especially if you're a business that's more of a high-risk business that are more than likely, like a restaurant, to go out of business, they're not going to fund you. Mm-hmm. So if you have family members that will
Yep.
fund you with actual legal paperwork that you're going to pay them back, which will be in your business plan, how long it's going to take for you to pay them back, what type of payments you're going to give them, would be perfect. And also use your own money.
Mm-hmm. You have a great idea for a business, but you want to go from you. I mean,
Have it
I,
here.
mean, I don't understand why my alarm is going off today. I've been doing this show every day for a year, and the alarm hasn't gone off. But and now yours too. I mean, what kind of program is this? Unbelievable. But anyway, if you're starting a new business and you want to know what mistakes not to make, you're going to want to stick around. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to another half hour of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark here with you. I've got Allie Mack to my left. The beautiful Brianna is not here, actually, so I'm having to push all sorts of different buttons myself. But I don't know, Brianna, I'd be nervous because I'm getting pretty good at this, and I don't know if you're needed any. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. I didn't mean that, Brianna, but I'm just telling you. I think I can do this myself. You just do all the
easy,
talking,
right?
Allie Mack. I'll do the button pushing if you want. Because it seems
Okay.
to be pretty good. I'm getting good at this. So let's
You
put it that
are.
way. Yeah. 321-282-1055. Very special guest joining us today, Alyssa Hogan. She's with Hogan Enterprises, business strategist, business coach,
Speaker.
tax expert, speaker,
Trainer.
author. Have you written some books I saw too?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It went really well. During my empowerment days, which wasn't too long ago, I wrote Survivor Behind the Name. It is an anthology with some other women of some traumatic stories that have happened in our life and how we overcame them.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
You ready to
They
play a
have
little
'em.
game?
Yes, we are.
You're going to beat me now and stump the Clarky, trust me.
Okay.
All right, and now it's time for Stop the Clarky. Come on,
Okay,
Clarky.
okay.
We need you to get over here. We've got some great trivia questions we want you to answer. Come on, Clarky. over here.
play along at home if you want. Go to @BehindTheLawRadio on Facebook. You can play along right there with us. We're going to do 4 questions. Allie Mac's going to read them today, and then we'll go back through and we'll score this game. Alyssa Hogan likely going to beat Justin Clark today.
More than likely, yes.
Stump the Clarky. Go ahead. Question number 1 for a Monday night.
Okay, question number 1. If you get all 4, you're going to we are going to win a grand prize.
Water bottles in my face. Typically.
So the first question, this is of course business related. What percentage of small businesses fail after 5 years in business? And I would imagine that's within the U.S. So what percentage of small businesses fail after 5 years in business?
Is it more or less than marriages failing? No, you don't have to give me that.
That's the wrong show.
Same number.
You got it?
Okay.
Okay, as of 2017, how many people are employed by female-owned small businesses in America?
Ooh.
So as of 2017, how many people are employed by female-owned small businesses in America? That's a good question.
That is a good question. Very tough
good.
question. I'm going to
Good
change.
to know.
You're like,
My
I'm
answer.
a guess right here. Question
You know, I
number
want to overestimate because I'm the only dude in the room, and I want to, really
make
be.
it a
We're
high
doing
number.
it.
Make it a
Listen,
high
we're
number.
really doing
I know
our thing.
you are, but then I would feel terrible if my answer's lower and you're higher and you're right. I'm going to look like a total jerk.
You're outnumbered once
Okay.
again in the room.
It's
So
very typical here at this program.
Question
number
number
3
3.
for a Stump the Clarky Monday night, ESPN 580 Orlando. Allie Mac.
What year was the Small Business Administration created?
Oh my goodness.
So what year was the Small Business Administration created?
Yeah, for some reason I don't really have any idea on that, but I'm
I
going to
know.
take a
You
little
don't?
run
I
at it.
need to
but
work on my
really-
history.
I really don't know the answer to that. I know a lot of people really love the SBA when a hurricane rolls through.
You guys ready for
They
question
give
number
a lot
4?
They give a lot of very low interest loans
No.
when the hurricane comes through.
You're not ready?
No.
Okay, guys.
Question
As
number
of
4, the last question. Play along with us if you would at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook. Allie Mac.
okay, as of 2018, how many small businesses are in the state of Florida?
Oh,
A lot.
how many small businesses?
As of 2018, how many small businesses are in the state of Florida?
Jeez, I don't know. Can I just say I don't have any idea?
A lot.
I know.
The answers.
So
I
Brianna
am
did leave us
stumped.
envelopes with 2 separate envelopes. One that says questions, one that says answers, of course. So, I mean, she did prepare before.
Monday.
And then Tuesday. By the way, you're going to want to join us tomorrow night as well. Pat Williams will be on the show talking about his new book, so join us tomorrow night. All right, you ready to score this game?
No.
It is.
Not ready? Ready or not?
We're playing Stump the Clarky for a Monday night here on ESPN 580 Orlando. My name is Justin Clark. Allie Mack is to my left, joined by a very special guest, Alyssa Hogan with Hogan Enterprises. Again, if you want to play along with us, it's at Behind the Law Radio. Let's score this game, Allie Mack. What was question number 1?
Question number 1 was what percentage of small businesses fail after 5 years in business, after being in 5 years in business?
So this is one of those, I wrote an answer down and then I changed it. So
saw you over there scribbling.
Did you?
My final answer today was 55% of businesses fail. Alyssa Hogan, what do you have?
That's a good one.
80%.
80%.
Oh my gosh.
Man, girl.
Negative Nancy over there. I'm just
What was your answer before?
65%.
Okay, the answer is 50% of businesses.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
was just.
be negative today.
So technically, I would have said 50 and
Yeah.
beat you.
Oh yeah, now
So
here
I
we go.
could have gotten a point.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's go to question number 2. Stump the Clarky.
Question.
What is it?
Question number 2 was, as of 2017, how many people are employed by female-owned small businesses in America?
Alyssa Hogan, what did you say? This is in the
That
country.
was a little more positive.
1.6 million. That's pretty good. Oh,
Not bad. I hope your
done.
number was big.
Let me just go ahead and give. This is for me.
Ooh, better luck next time.
That's for me, not for you, Alyssa, because I know my answer stinks.
I mean, that's a real stinking.
I said 25 million. I went way higher than you.
Oh, way higher.
What's the right
The answer is 9 million.
9 million. So that's a point for you, Alyssa
US.
Hogan, on the board. 1-1 going into question 3 for Stump the Clarky on a Monday. Go ahead.
Okay.
Question 3.
Question number 3 was, what year was the Small Business Administration created? So in what year was the Small Business Administration
You know
created?
what's messed up on that last question? I actually had changed my answer to 15 million. I think I would have won. That's okay.
Sorry, doesn't count.
But just so you know, look, check it out. What does that look like to you? 15, right?
Scribble, scrabble.
Okay, whatever. It's 1-1. Question number 3. What was it? One more time, Ellie Mac.
It was, what year was the Small Business Administration created?
Alyssa Hogan and I struggled on this one. Alyssa, what did you say?
So we both struggled.
Well, I'm just assuming we were both complaining about the question.
We
Put it that way.
were.
1974 for Alyssa Hogan. Justin
Pretty
Clark
good.
said 1968. What's the right answer?
I was saying
Man.
60s, 70s.
1953.
Oh, wow. 53. All right. 2-1.
July 30th of
Yeah.
1953
All right,
to be exact.
I mean, not great answer by me, but we'll take the point, I guess. Question number 4. It comes down to this. For a Monday night on ESPN 580 Orlando, Stump the Clarky. What was it?
Okay, as of 2018, how many small businesses are in the state of Florida?
All right, so here's how I reasoned this one. I know that there's about, I think, 85,000 attorneys alone in the state of Florida. So I was using that to sort of base my answer. And I went with 130,000 small businesses. I feel like I'm probably a
That's
little
it?
bit... Okay, yeah, I knew I was low.
130,000
Yeah.
attorneys.
Well,
Yes, there's a
all
lot
right,
more
Alyssa
businesses.
Hogan, you're going to win this one. 500,000 small businesses.
500,000, a lot.
That's a lot. Yep. All right, what is the right answer?
The answer is 2.5 million businesses.
Small business.
In Florida?
2.5
Good job. 2-2.
million.
We tie on Stump the Clarky today.
Mm-hmm.
But,
2.5
yeah, but you're probably
million. But
counting
that
like
sucks.
Amazon seller. Like, oh, I sold some underwear on eBay the other day and I have a business.
I'm a business owner.
You know what I
They
mean? So
are,
that's what I'm...
if they are licensed and incorporated,
Registered as
Yep.
your business.
All right. Well, good job today. It was fun playing with you. See, it wasn't that bad, Alyssa, right?
not that bad.
No way.
Okay, folks, thank you so much for being with us. Clarky, let's get out of here, buddy. My stomach thinks my throat's cut. I'm starving.
Good job. I didn't take a loss, but I certainly didn't get the win. That's okay. Alyssa Hogan joins us today on Behind the Law, talking about all things small business and really how to get your business off the ground. Let me ask you this question. What is 2 or 3 things that you've seen in working with business owners that have really made them fail?
Good question.
Any one particular thing come to mind that you're like, oh, yeah, I knew they were going to mess this up, and they did. I mean, is it lack of funding? Is it just lack of plan, knowledge about the industry? What have you seen?
Well, it's all of those. It's
Your
all of
your
those.
top 3
Yeah,
that
the
is
top,
just
consistency. When there's no one to be accountable for, like you are with your boss, when you come in, you're like, oh gosh, I gotta finish that. There's nobody to hold you accountable but you. And so when you fall off, that's your whole business. So you have to be consistent. You have to wake up ready every day, have a plan. Okay, these are my top 3 things I'm gonna do. And it's really not a lack of funding, it's knowing where to spend the money.
Right. You have a great idea, right? We've all had great ideas, but then how do you really take that idea and execute it into a profit? Let's answer that question with Alyssa Hogan, all right, on the other side of this break. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the program. One final segment ahead for a Monday night on Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. My name is Justin Clark. To my left is the beautiful Allie Mack. The beautiful Brianna is not here today. Hope everything is going well with you. She will be back later this week. We're joined today by a very special guest, Alyssa Hogan. She's with Hogan Enterprises, business strategist, speaker, tax expert, author, a little bit of everything. Entrepreneur. Just a little bit of awesomeness,
Fashionista.
all the way around
the
for
earrings.
Alyssa Hogan. But a lot of your day is spent helping business owners, right? You're helping them strategize, whether it's a new business owner or someone who has been in business and just can't get over that hump. But let me ask you this, and you two can probably help each other on this. Mm-hmm. When you start a new business, typically there's not millions of dollars sitting there in the coffers. You have to really be careful with your advertising strategy because advertising can get expensive. I write checks every month to TV companies, and these are big checks that hurt me every month. I mean, they really do. These are big checks I have to write. And I know when I first started this law firm, there's no way I could have afforded to stroke $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 checks every month for TV advertising. What are some advice and tips that you have for advertising? This is for Allie Mack and Alyssa for a new business.
Hello. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Right now, because I was in that situation when I started my businesses, I used social media. Social media is a tool that actually when I was in business with my ex-husband, I didn't even know existed. We had little things on our car and all kind of stuff. So social media, pick one where your ideal clients are, and which will take some research, and do it well. Continue consistently blasting them on email. The actual email is also, that's what I meant to say. Social media, email, blogging, get your website high SEO. There's just so many free tools, networking, not paid conferences necessarily. There are so many free networking events that pop up on my feed all the time. Show up. Are your ideal clients there? Show up and build relationships. Mm-hmm. Some of those relationships I started building at the beginning when I didn't quite know what the heck I was doing are very good relationships. These people I see out and they're like, what do you need? How are you doing? And I do the same thing for them when we're building relationships. Instead of you constantly wondering what another business owner can do for you, why don't you volunteer? Why don't you serve a little to build that relationship? And you never know, because I'm pulling people out the background. You need this? Oh, you need someone to help you with contracts? I know someone. And so I'm constantly referring to people that I know are of value. So networking and building those relationships, social media, email marketing, get them off of social media and into your email marketing so you can develop a great relationship.
So you described earlier, we were having a meeting, Allie Mack, about social media and how you're like, guys, it's almost as if you're really forming a bond with this person, this invisible person to you. It's a relationship, but I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, what would be your strategy social media-wise for a brand new business that doesn't have a lot of money for advertising? What would you have them do?
So a lot of businesses that don't have the funds for social media, they can actually do it themselves in the beginning. So what I was describing earlier is when you're on social media and all those other things that you said work great, show up, but go to the different events and all that. But the key thing is you have to have a follow-up. Like you have to have the follow-up. You can meet all these people, you can email them all you want, but there also has to be a follow-up there, and that's where you capture them. Like in social media, you can't capture or you can't visit as many people as you can on social media. Like say our work day is 40 hours plus some, and how many people can we actually meet and have a substantial conversation with or have a substantial in-depth, okay, this is how I can help your business. But with social media, you can reach more people. Your fingerprint is by far more greater than you can going business to business. So with social media, you let people know what your business is about. You let people know who you, the business owner, is about and how you can help them. So it's you use social media as to your advantage, and you speak to them, your content, your graphic designs, as if you were speaking to them like you and I were. These are the benefits from it, and that's how I use social media, and also the business owners should take advantage of that as well.
All right, so it seems like the two completely different and separate ideas and concepts.
Social media.
But listen to me for a second. A lot of people will do these, 7 a.m. breakfast, like the BNI thing. You know what I'm talking about? These, you go in, you're like, I'm a plumber, I'm a lawyer, and you go around the room like, hey, we want to share referrals and things like that. But then there's also this social media thing that you can kind of do behind the scenes from your phone or your computer. Is one better than the other, or do we have to do all of these things as a new small business?
I think they're both really good.
Yeah, they're both. I'm limited in how many things I can go out to because my family is above my business. And so I pick the two best networking, or I do networking during the day events, and I don't go to a lot of them because I won't remember anything. So it does no good. And the cards I get, I sad to say, but I think I just dump them. Don't give me a card.
Wait, but you don't like dump them in the parking lot. You at least like throw them in a garbage can.
No, I put them
right?
in my purse, and then when I clean my purse out, they end up in the trash.
Cleaning.
Someone was telling me the story the other. I think it was you about you were at a networking event and someone gave your husband a card or something, and then they found it on the floor.
Yes,
and they were all
that was
mad.
horrible. That was horrible.
Not on the floor.
He didn't do it on purpose,
no,
though.
It was literally on the floor next to them.
It just was no value to it.
It's just my husband speaks with his hands, so he had his card in his hands, and then it was just on the floor, and the guy's like, is that my business card? Because my business card should never touch the floor.
That's
Wow.
That's embarrassing.
Well, I guess that
embarrassing.
relationship was ruined. But social media, back to social media. I refer to it as in like fishing. You cast a wide net. You can go and, catch little fish here and there. But with social media, you can really get deep out there because I have people on my social media from New York, Chicago, and I'm actually interacting and doing business with them. Never have met these people. I do taxes virtually. I have conversations virtually. Skype. I have, this has redefined business. Sometimes I'm in my PJs and I'll just put on a shirt just to Skype. I'm behind my phone doing social media while I'm cooking or, cleaning or vacuuming. So I'm able to work or automate it where I can do it all Sunday night and I don't even have to look at my phone. So you can make it work for you because I still do my own social media. It's so sad. It's so sad, but I still do my own social media, and I think I'm pretty good, although I hate it. I'd rather be focused on some other things. But you definitely have to use the free. I am a freebie queen. I can tell you about all the free services and apps and everything that there are to use to get you started.
You're listening to Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark, Allie Mack talking to Alyssa Hogan, Hogan Enterprises. What other freebies are out there for business owners? What other tools do we have that aren't going to cost us any money?
There are bookings. Like people ask me, how do you book and go on? The bookings they are free to connect to your website so people can go on and book. Right? Amazing. There are, I have so many. There's Canva for free. I use the free version. I tried the paid, and the fact that it was $10, I was like, oh no, I'm going back to the free. I don't see a benefit. So I use Canva for my graphics at times. I now do have a branding specialist for, because I got to look a little bit polished. But
So she does her own social media, but you have a branding specialist that you hire. I see.
Yes, I have one for now because, I'm moving on up. But I use those things, Canva and Acuity. You actually can go on my site and I have a checklist and you can click inside of it for startup and it tells you where to get all the freebies, what order you should be going in. There are actually websites that are free that you can get. We know Wix. It's free.
Speaking of website, let's say I want to reach out. I know I need some help business-wise. What's the website, phone number? How do we find Alyssa Hogan?
Okay, let me start with the phone number. 407-308-5880. I think that's my number.
No problem.
If you don't, go to my website.
Somebody dial it right now, please.
Just test it.
Yeah, go to my website. It is at www.alyssaahogan.co.
Thank you for being here. Excellent work today. If you have any questions about starting a business or making your business more profitable, reach out to Alyssa Hogan. Good job today. Come back anytime, all right? Especially if you write another book. You get on here, bring us a book. We'll talk about it, too. For the beautiful Brianna, who is not here today, Allie Mack, good job, sort of last minute.
Thank you.
And I don't know much, but I do know one little teeny tiny thing.
What is that?
We'll be right back here with you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. on ESPN 580 Orlando.